Okay, we're here. It's July 17th, 1988. We're at the Houston House Apartments in Houston, Texas. It's Bill Hicks. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well, Jim.
Good.
Doing well. Good to see you.
This is one of your farewell appearances here in Houston, right? You're not coming back?
Oh, actually, I'm done. This is not even an appearance. I'm at the pool just trying to relax, Jim. I know this looks like a gig Sharon might have got, but no, this is just the pool, no gig.
And you're moving on to New York now?
Going to New York Tuesday, day after tomorrow.
That's good. That'd be the 19th. So.
Yeah.
Well,
moving up north to get away from the heat.
Moving up north. Well, have you given any thought to whatever happened to the Outlaw Comics?
Jesus, the Outlaws. God dang, I haven't heard that word in a long time. I really haven't given it much thought, Jim. Let's see. There once was this group of guys, gleam of madness in their eyes, wanted to make their mark on the world. Outlaws was their name and comedy was their game, along with trying to meet some girls. There was Shock with his attitude, cocky and wise. There was John who was cool with the shades on his eyes. Esquire, hot as a pistol. Andy and Riley, characters abound. There was Bill dressed in black and living downtown. And Eppie with his jack-off jokes and crystals. Let's tune. Better?
We'll just cut that part out. Almost got away from you, didn't you?
How it all got started, I'll never know. Probably came up in a drunken row. Hey, I've got it, someone slurred. Let's all get together and take the world. We'll meet some money and make some girls. Success and stardom we deserve. No more Paul, no more Sharon. Fuck them all. We'll meet at Bill's tomorrow at noon. We'll argue till he wakes, then go for food. We have to decide who's our leader. Riley thinks he's the one for the job. Eppie thinks Riley is a slob. Shock says, fuck it, let's go eat, and that's agreed on. Riley wants to eat at the Black Eyed Peas. Shock says he wants Vietnamese. Eppie says wherever Shock goes is the place for him. Andy and Jimmy are broke today. Bill says he'll cover if they'll repay. I guess that means, John says, we're done working. Where, oh where did the Outlaws go? They're out to lunch and they got a show looming on the horizon. Hicks is asleep and Shock is stoned. Where Eppie went nobody knows, and no one seems to care to find him. As frightening as it seems, Eppie had a dream. By the time we found out it was time to leave, more than a little bit scary. On a dingy little club in Chicagoland, we were up shit creek without a fan, except for one cackling idiot named Barry. Or whatever happened to the outlaw life? Shock's too busy juggling wives. John thinks Eppie is a putz. For the umpteenth time, Jimmy up and quit. Andy be happy with a solid shit. And Riley has his mind on a kibbutz.
That's sad.
It's real sad.
That's, now, are those tears or is that sweat that's dripping off?
It's both, a little of both.
I thought so. Well, what were the Outlaws, though, really, Bill? What did they stand for?
They stood for, lunch buffets, half off, late night Mexican food, arguments till dawn, occasionally a show, more titles than shows. Had some great titles we came up with.
Like what?
Oh, there's so many.
What were some of the titles that were not agreed on?
Not agreed on? Get Religion. All of them that we did were not agreed on. I mean, the ones that we didn't do, that we never got done. Oh.
Cast Pearls?
Those Cast Pearls before Swaggart. That was the Baton Rouge epic. Well, the Outlaws got together first of all back when Sam Kinison was there and was kicked out of the club and then broke Steve Moore's leg.
Now, what was he kicked out for?
Well, he was kicked out for doing material that offended Steve Moore and I believe Fred Greenlee's sensibilities, who were at that time managers of the club.
And non-outlaws.
Oh, and to this day.
Now,
See,
what was the material?
The deal was, Steve Moore came down and took on the pompous position of becoming artistic director of something so ambiguous as individual talent. An impossible fucking choice to make. He made it pompously. Sam Kinison showed up, who had a background of intense individuality and personality and charisma, and went up and did the exact kind of act that Steve Moore purported he liked. A Lenny Bruce stream of consciousness, and also killed, and the crowds loved it. And he'd only been doing it a short while, whereas Steve Moore is what now, 60? He's about 60 and had been doing it since he was 10.
And he crammed that into a shorter amount of time.
Yeah. So
there was some artistic differences.
Jealousy, I would say. And they found ways to try and thwart Sam's talent. For instance, they told him on weekends you cannot do improvisational comedy. And which went against the theory of the club, the Comedy Workshop, which is a place you work on comedy. But also Sam was doing improvisational comedy and killing while doing it. So what could possibly be the complaint? So what Sam did when they said, well, either you do a set act on weekends or you don't work weekends, Sam went up and scratched his name off all the weekends. It shows you what kind of attitude he had. Fuck it, I'll do what I want. That bothered them even more. So they found ways to try and cut out pieces of Sam's act during the week, such as Baby Jesus and Nigger Dog.
Is this one piece? Or?
Yeah, it was one piece. Yeah, the Baby Jesus and Nigger Dog, Pancho Villa and what? Pancho and Don Quixote, a team. Chasing the windmills of illusion and destroying them.
Pancho Villa and Don Quixote were a team?
Don Quixote and Pancho. Sancho Sanchez.
I want to save that. I want to save this. So
they said...
They didn't like the bit. Steve didn't like the bit.
Exactly.
What was Wilkes doing there? Oh, no.
He was sleeping in Sam's closet with Carl Labove.
So how did they stop him?
They had bunk shoe boxes.
So how did they stop Sam from doing any piece of material?
Oh, they didn't. They had to kick him out.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
They? Who's they? Moore and Green?
Well, they had not only just Moore, an artistic director, they had a artistic committee. Some comics they picked, hand-picked.
Who was on that?
Oh, Bill Silva would be a perfect example. Bob Rogers. That's the vote we always sway by going, no, Bob, here's a drink. We're going this way. You guys are always right. You know, hell, I don't know nothing. First of all, let me start off by saying I don't know anything. And I'm a loser. Okay, Bob, thanks.
Was that Bob or Silva?
Well, Silva went either way. Silva went either way, depending on where the winds were blowing. I think Bob is a loser. No, I think he's all right. Well, so do I. Losers can be all right. I never said that.
So they kicked Sam out.
They kicked Sam out over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And finally, to reach the point where Sam went across the street and crucified himself on a stop-and-go sign with diapers and a crucifix and ketchup for blood. Greenlee, I heard, called the police. I never knew Greenlee was such a concerned citizen about stop-and-go property. And the tensions rose until finally...
This is all one night, basically.
This is Sam's first night here.
No, but I mean, this crucifix.
I don't remember what night.
Okay. But this was the night he and Moore had a squabble, and he broke Moore's leg or something?
No, this is later. This is when he went back, he broke a bar stool, got kicked out for 2 weeks. Something else happened. They kicked him out forever.
Forever?
Forever.
He's been back there, though.
And Sam, yeah, he has been back. And Sam did not take that well and went up and broke Moore's leg. So that pretty much cemented the forever, at least for now. It became, well, until Moore's leg heals, you're out of here.
So it was later that night or another night when he did the...
It was another night.
Another night, okay. So the police came. Sam's on a
cross.
makeshift cross
and he testified, a living testimony, that the club was trying to, members of the club were trying to thwart creativity.
There was a crowd forming?
Big crowd.
Did he do the aforementioned bit for them?
No, you really needed a mic for that. And it was a big crowd, and traffic was going by, and cops' lights, and so he got kicked out forever. And that's when the Outlaws basically was formed, when he decided to do a show called Comics on the Lam with Epi, Riley, myself, Carl Labove, and Wilkes somehow. And Wilkes wasn't even there, but he was on the show. So that was the first really germ of the idea.
Now, where was this performed?
It's performed in a few places, but the main one was at the Tower Theater, where we were going to try to raise money to move to L.A. So we're going to do a final show before L.A. type of deal. And that show drew 90 people. So
we raised enough money to move to Seguin.
Seguin, yeah.
So that was pretty much it for that first wave of Outlaw?
That was it. Then
it came up again when? When was the term used again?
I believe that came up again when Wilkes broke Moore's leg. They were both trying to pick up the same blonde. A squabble started.
So it wasn't as much artistic as...
Well, as Moore would explain, she was a painting, man. She was a fucking Blake poem.
So who moved to L.A.?
She had one tooth and a tattoo on the tooth. What we wanted to do is get the best guys that we could who were original and did themselves. That was the basic theme of the Outlaw premise.
What was Wilkes doing? And that show was really a good show, don't you think?
Yeah.
You're still proud of it today.
Oh, yeah, it was a great show. Everything we did had that quality to it.